Now, at 1:30 p.m., let's switch our focus back to big political news that has dominated the news agenda. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has clarified his remarks where he talked about wealth being redistributed to those with more children. A massive storm blew out when in Rajasthan, the Prime Minister said that the Congress wants to take away the gold and property of people and distribute it among those having more children. The remarks had become the focal point for a political slugfest where opposition leaders criticized the Prime Minister for allegedly drawing a parallel between infiltrators and minorities and those who have more kids. In his earlier speech from the 22nd of April, the Prime Minister could clearly be heard saying the Congress believe that Muslims have the first right over resources and that they will give all your wealth to infiltrators and those with more children.
और पहले जब उनकी सरकार थी उन्होंने कहा था कि देश की संपत्ति पर पहला अधिकार मुसलमानों का है। इसका मतलब ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे। घुसपैठियों को बांटेंगे। क्या आपकी मेहनत की कमाई का पैसा घुसपैठियों को दिया जाएगा? आपको मंजूर है ये कांग्रेस का मैनिफेस्टो कह रहा है कि वो माताओं बहनों का सोने का हिसाब करेंगे, उसकी जड़ती करेंगे, जानकारी लेंगे और फिर उस संपत्ति को बांट देंगे और उनको बांटेंगे जिनको मनमोहन सिंह जी की सरकार ने कहा था कि संपत्ति पर पहला अधिकार मुसलमानों का है। भाइयों बहनों, ये अर्बन नक्सल की सोच मेरी माताओं बहनों, ये आपका मंगलसूत्र भी बचने नहीं देंगे, यहां तक जाएंगे मैं कहने आया हूं।
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister cleared the air and said in an interview to a private news channel that he never mentioned Muslims and that it has been unjustly inferred as that. He further said that he was referring to poor families with more children. The Prime Minister further clarified that he doesn't believe in a religious divide and the day that he rakes that up, he will leave public life. He further accused his opponents of tarnishing his image among Muslims after the 2002 Godhra riots. So that is, of course, what the Prime Minister said in an interview to a private news channel. And of course, the opposition has once again come down hard on the Prime Minister, accusing him of allegedly spreading countless lies. AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi alleged the Prime Minister's political journey has been solely based on anti-Muslim politics. The Congress too has countered the Prime Minister with his own statements and has accused him of blatantly and brazenly using communal language, symbols and allusions. The Congress further trains guns on Election Commission for taking no action on the Prime Minister for his remarks.
आप बताइए इनकी क्या बात की जाए। जो सुबह स्टेटमेंट देता है कि कांग्रेस है और कांग्रेस ने मुसलमान को आज तक क्या दिया? कुछ नहीं दिया, माने मुसलमान के साथ बड़ा अन्याय किया। और दूसरे जगह 2 घंटे के बाद वही प्रधानमंत्री कहता है कि कांग्रेस अगर सत्ता में आई तो सब कुछ केवल मुसलमानों को ही दे देगी। अब जहाँ इस तरह के बयानबाजी जो प्रधानमंत्री कर रहा है, प्रधानमंत्री की कुर्सी पर बैठ करके जो नायक कर रहा है इस तरह की बात, उसके बात पर क्या विश्वास किया जाए कि उसकी बात जो कह रहा है उसमें कोई दम है कि नहीं है? तो हम तो यही समझते हैं कि उनके बातों में कोई दम नहीं है, वो पद के व्यक्त करने लायक ही बात नहीं करते।
Let's put that to debate. We are joined by Pradeep Mahaur, who's leader of the BJP, and Tariq Khan, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Thank you both for joining us on this afternoon debate. Pradeep Mahaur, let me come to you. In English, there is a saying that you can't have a cake and eat it too. On one hand, the party and fans of the party and the IT cell say that call Mr. Modi a Hindu Hriday Samrat, say for the first time there is a Hindu leader who is in charge of the country, who's going to put Hindu interests first. But on the other hand, the Prime Minister comes and says that I have never believed in doing Hindu-Muslim politics. I don't look at people through the lens of religion. To quote the Prime Minister himself, hypocrisy की भी सीमा होती है?
No. Let's understand the things one by one. It's very clear that Prime Minister has one agenda. Sabka Sath, Sabka Vikas. Means taking everybody as equal citizen of India. So there is a difference between taking anybody as equal citizen or appeasement of a particular segment of society. What Congress is doing is they are actually appeasing a certain segment of the society where they are trying to just put in some words and try to, disrupt actual mainstream
Okay, I think Mr.
agenda, mainstream politics. So what they're doing is they are trying to segregate them from each and every person. So as far as Prime Minister is concerned, equal opportunities for everybody. When somebody comes and says that in India, Muslims are first, I am the person who is going to oppose it. And they are the first owners of anything, any kind of a in India, then I am the first person to oppose it. The reason being that that person is not equally distributing. He is trying to appease a certain segment of society. And he's very true. Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister is very true in saying that they have not done anything for the Muslims also. They have just put in words. They have just put in words of appeasement. They have divided them from the society. And you see, you go to some of the Muslim areas, what you will find is the areas are not well developed. Now, what we see is the equal development in each and every area. Why it has happened? It happened in the time of the Congress. So, this is very true. There has to be a government which should look everybody with the same lens, not a lens of division. This
Okay.
is what is his
So,
main agenda.
Tariq Khanji, Pradeep Mahaur is saying that the Prime Minister is not looking at appeasing a section of the society. He is looking at undoing the appeasement given to the other section of society by previous governments in which the Samajwadi Party was in power. And that has been selectively looked as Hindu-Muslim appeasement. What do you have to say to that?
What is the basic fundamental of Bharatiya Janata Party is to divide the society. From the very beginning, what they have done. They have reached from 2 seats to 300. And this is the first time that Narendra Modi ji has said about Hindu-Muslim. In 2017, he spoke about Kabristan, Shamshan. He spoke about Eid and Holi. So this is the way how the Prime Minister behaved after 2014, that dividing the society on the basis of religion as well on the basis of caste. They are ruling on they are ruling India. This is not fair. You should look each and everybody in a fair eyes. You have just हमने देखा अभी you have we have seen the video of Narendra Modi ji. What he said, he bluntly saying that I am what implies that what he is saying that I am completely against Muslims. This is the message you are sending to the world, that this is how you are treating to your minorities, and this is highly condemned by the national newspaper, international newspaper, let it be New York's Time or what, the Guardian or whatever it will be. So, Prime Minister of the India, this is the first time after independence that the Prime Minister of our largest democracy of the India is using the words of minority just to polarize the votes of the majority, and this has been highly condemned by the society of the world, and the Muslim world are also looking it in a very bad way. How Prime Minister is behaving with the minorities of India just to have the vote of the majority, or to just polarize or to divide the society in Hindu and Muslims.
No,
Hello?
Pradeep Mahaji, let's keep the issue of who has appeased whom on the sidelines for a second. I'm going to go with the Prime Minister's own words and how they don't add up. Now, in this interview which is given to a news channel, he says that I have never mentioned Hindus by name or Muslims by name. Wo to mischievous interests have misinterpreted it. Now, I'm reading out his quotes. He says, when the Congress government's party was in power, they had said that Muslims have the first right to the country's assets. Does this mean your property will be distributed? It will be distributed to those who have more children. It will be distributed to infiltrators. When he says infiltrators, it's obvious that he is not referring to Hindus, because nobody will say Hindus are infiltrators, especially from the BJP. Then he says that there is urban Naxal mindset. My mothers, they will not even leave your Mangal Sutras. Now, who wears Mangal Sutras? Hindus wear Mangal Sutras. Earlier I said, जो आ रहे आप उनके कपड़े से पहचान सकते हैं. Now, obviously, when you say something like कपड़ों से पहचान सकते हैं, you're distinguishing between clothes worn by different religions in terms of different religious attire. So my point is that you can say that, okay, I'm not interested in appeasing a community, or I'm interested in undoing the appeasement of another community. But to brazenly say that I have never highlighted Hindus or I've never highlighted Muslims, when 2 हफ्ते पहले your sound bites are on air in which you specifically mentioned communities, they don't add up.
Look, one thing is very clear. When he is talking about infiltrators, is he talking about Muslims? Not at all. Infiltrators are people who are coming from our neighboring countries to India. So he's addressing to those people. So why do Muslims
So,
always feel that
no, no, one second, Mr. Pradeep
Tariq
Mahaur ji,
Khan?
are you
I have a
saying
question to
that
Tariq Khan.
Hindus who are coming from neighboring
Does he think
countries?
himself
Ek
to
second.
be an infiltrator?
Ek second.
Yeah, right.
Pradeep Mahaur ji, first, I have a question. Pradeep Mahaur ji, first,
Right.
I have a question. You said you are referring to infiltrators coming in from neighboring countries, not highlighting the Muslims. So that means Hindus coming in from Pakistan, Hindus coming in from Bangladesh are infiltrators. Then why is the Citizenship Amendment Act being put in place?
That is entirely a different issue. Look, there is only one country where Hindus can reside. Is there any other country where Hindus can migrate to? Talk about Bangladesh, talk about Pakistan. When there was a division between
So
India
आप
and
कर रहे हो
Pakistan,
ना? So
that time there were
you are
around 20%.
segregating on the
Wait a
basis of
minute.
Hindus and
You
Muslims.
have
That
asked
is
a
my
question.
point,
Let me
sir.
answer it.
You
Let
are
me answer
coming
it.
up with policies specifically to Hindus, policies specific to Muslims. So stick to that. Say that yes, I am specifically looking at policies for Hindus and
Specifically to
specifically looking
Hindus,
for policies
you
for Muslims
have
for
to
these
address the
reasons.
legal
Why
phenomena.
saying now that I have nothing to do with either
This
Hindus
has
or
nothing to
Muslims?
do with the Hindus. Listen. Oh, let me answer it. It has nothing to do with the Hindus. It is the geographical phenomena wherein Southeast Asian subcontinent does not have any place except India where Hindus can reside. So you will have to facilitate them. Are you planning that somebody is running away from Pakistan? Should he be thrown out in the ocean? It cannot be done. So it is a geographical compulsion where you have to facilitate them. I mean, it has nothing to do with Hindu and Muslim. This is what is the problem. Congress is trying to mislead Muslims and trying to, Congress and Samajwadi Party and all that. These people are trying to mislead Muslims and saying continuously that the Bharatiya Janata Party is having something against you. There is nothing against them. Everybody, including Hindus, including Muslims, everybody is a citizen of India, and everybody has to be treated in the same manner. This is what the point is.
Okay. Let Tariq Khan, let us respond to that, because the fact still remains that if one can accuse the BJP of hypocrisy today, the fact still remains the Congress, which is a party in alliance with you, can also be accused of the same. After all, it is a fact that former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji had at one point said that Muslims have the first right of the country's resources.
First claim, he said minorities, SC, OBC must have the first claim. There is a difference in claim and their heart. So they are saying they must have what Manmohan Singh has said. They must have first claim on the resources of the country, and he included OBC, SC, ST, all of them. So किस तरीके से they have misleaded to the statement of Prime Minister. This is what apex example how you can manipulate the what PM has said in 2016. And I'm asking a question. He said, suppose he said that there must be first claim to the Muslims or the minority. What he has done in 2006 he has said, and he has till 2014 he was in power. What he has done? He has doubled the voting right of Muslim, or he has increased the reservation of the Muslim. What he has said? He has done nothing. Treated Muslims and Hindus equally. He has done nothing special for Muslims, even though such a committee said that the situation of Muslims was even bad than Dalits and backward class of India. So this was the situation. And
during the Congress rule. During the Congress, mention it. During the Congress and Samajwadi rule. That is my point. That is my point.
Respond to my question. Respond to my question. You are
No.
against reservation of the Muslim. Muslim reservation in 1995.
Okay, I think we're leaving some.
You check the status of whether he is along with that status or not. My second point is that Chandrababu Naidu promised the state that he'll give 5% reservation to Muslim, and he's along with you fighting the election. Please ask Chandrababu Naidu that whether he still have that stand or against that stand. So you are having two people who implemented Muslim reservation and asking to have Muslim reservation and promised the state that he'll give Muslim reservation. The same 70 category you are giving reservation in Gujarat to Muslims, OBC category. There has been 70 OBC categories you have been giving reservation in Gujarat, in Haryana, wherever you have government in the state category you have more than 70 Muslim category you have given reservations to the Muslim, and you are giving reservation where you are in power and you are opposing to other states. just like Karnataka and Andhra. And
Okay,
the people how
Pradeep Mahaur, I
with you.
all right, Tariq Khan ji, you have made your point. Let me get a final response in from Pradeep Mahaur. Mr. Mahaur, firstly, yes, the statement which Manmohan Singh ji had said, that plan for minorities, especially Muslims, have first claim on resources so that the benefits of development reach them equitably. In a way, that's the same thing which the Prime Minister is saying now. He wants that everyone should receive equal and equitable. The word means equitable, not just equal, access to all natural resources. So surely that is not something to object to. The second point that I'm saying is, that let's be honest, in the second and third phase especially, there were mentions of Hindu-Muslim politics now. Now the Prime Minister has dialed back, saying that I am interested in appeasing, in looking at all religions here. A cynical political observer like me will look at and say that, there's something which has gone wrong in the poll strategy, and the BJP is now realizing that perhaps Hindu votes se akele mein baat nahi banne wali hai. You have to maintain a more wider outlook here. How do you respond to that?
No. I mean, it has nothing to do with the polls. Look, one thing is there. The Prime Minister has been saying it since beginning. And there is no difference during the polls and before the polls. His agenda was very clear. If somebody says that some XYZ person has first right on Indian resources, that is what I oppose. Because everybody is equal. I am the equal citizen of India. Mr. Tariq is equal citizen of India. Why should me or Tariq, some one of us, have more
So by that logic,
on the resources of the country?
a crorepati and a person below the poverty line have the same right on ration. No, by that logic, a crorepati should also have access to Ujjwal Gas Yojana. Why are you keeping it only to economically marginalized?
Look, this is quite logical. Some is not going to enter into the ladies' toilet. I mean, that is not a right. Somebody is poor, he should be facilitated. That is true. Facilitation and equal right. These are two different things. Right and facilitation. If somebody is poor, why are you facilitating him? You are facilitating him so that he can contribute to the nation in future. His future generations can contribute. This is what is your agenda. You are not facilitating him so that because he has the first right. There's a big difference between these two words, first right as well as the facilitation. As far as ration is concerned, definitely it should be given. Given to the people who are in need. So, if you are giving something to people who are in need, that doesn't mean they have first right. That is a facilitation that has been given to them so that they can uplift themselves and grow to the level so that they can contribute in future. This is the agenda.
Tariq Khan, how do you respond to that, sir?
Hello.
Tariq Khan ji, if you can hear me, I would ask you to respond to that. You have the last word. I have to wrap up. Yes, go ahead.
Me to respond. Okay. What
yes.
he is saying that
because he's saying that it's one thing to say right, one thing to ensure access.
Listen, what BJP is doing, they are changing their goalpost according to the phases. You are very right.
It's not changing the goalpost. Goalpost is always the same. We had the agenda very first day.
One second, Mahaji, let him speak. Let him speak. Let him complete his point. Mahaji, I strongly believe that if you have not been able to make your point in the time I've given you, you won't be able to do earlier also. Kanji, respond, please.
So what they are doing, we have seen split personalities in Prime Minister. What he is speaking when he is on the stage, he is speaking very communal language, which is highly condemnable. And when he comes down and speaks to a anchor or a patakar like you, he speaks very differently. These are the two things we have been seeing in Prime Minister personalities, and this is what I can say, it's a split personality. And maybe because he has seen in these phases he wants some Muslim votes, that's why he has just changed his goalpost. And just few days back we have seen how he's fighting against the Muslim.
I will have to end that debate on that. Pradeep Mahaur and Tariq Khan ji, thank you so much for joining us. I think the one thing is clear at this point here is that the people of this country and the voters and the viewers of Mirror Now specifically are intelligent enough to understand whether there is double standards or hypocrisy at play, and if it's so, Who's the one responsible for it? Is it the Prime Minister and his party, or is it the opposition which was in power for more than a decade ago? On that note, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me on this debate. We are heading into a short break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned to Mirror Now.